Today's subject is Community CPA is not your ordinary CPA firm. You can tell just by looking at the name, Community CPA. A lot of the other CPA firms that you deal with is like someone's last name. And
it's so hard that you never know how to spell it or even say it.
Right. That's usually how it goes. All right, we'll get started now. Thank you everybody for joining us today. This is the new way of saying hello during this COVID-19 time. And we want to make sure you're taken care of. We want to make sure that you're not pouting about the situation. You stay uplifted in your spirit and make sure that you are interacting over video, webinars, getting education, learning how to ride this time, and hopefully catch up on some few things that you didn't have time for in the past because you were too busy running your business and that sort of thing. So right now, we're wanting to make sure that you know that this time will pass. Everything passes. Everything ends at one point. And we want to make sure that when that point comes, your business continues to be strong, maybe even stronger than before, and make the right changes so that when that end comes, then you know how to just continue on with your business. So today we're going to talk to you a little bit about Community CPA, how to work with our firm. And so we devote every Thursday to help with our new or existing clients on the new changes on our firm or existing practices to reinforce those things and to help you understand about our firm, Community CPA. So Ying, do you mind taking us down memory lane through our history of our firm?
Sure. Our firm is very different. Most of the CPA firm you see out there, and they either was purchased from somebody or they are merged between the two small firms or whatever. So there really isn't a CPA firm of our scale that is coming from a one client and a one person $50 per month charge. So Community CPA really started back then in 1998. And I'll tell you that there's nobody behind Community CPA to be that great entrepreneurs and knows everything, knows is going to become a big, great Community CPA. Back then, I was new to US and I just arrived in 1996. I just arrived from Toronto, Canada to US. And my husband has a professor job at Iowa State University. So I am that qualified housewife and I really don't need to do anything and I should stay home taking care of the kids. And so that was my American dream at that time. And so I arrived and I really stayed at home for 4 full days and I'm done with staying at home. So I started looking for a job. So I worked at Iowa State University and in their extension partnership where I was the business manager there. And, you know, out of that recruiting was really interesting because they recruited like 68 people. And then my boss liked my resume because I'm so interesting. I'm Chinese, but I'm from Canada, I'm Canadian. So they're just fascinated with my background. So I become the business manager there. And because I'm Asian, so very noticeable back in the the late 90s in Iowa, the custodian is a Vietnamese guy. And so he was having trouble with IRS. And trust me, when he came to my office, said that, you know, IRS. I didn't even know what IRS. I thought he meant IRS is one of the staff I haven't really get acquainted to. So I go, oh yes, I know IRS. And then he goes, here's the letter. Can you help me because I have no money to pay? Because on the letter, it says a written $680 some. And of course, that was the first time I ever even read IRS letter. So I realized, oh, that's same thing as Canadian revenue, and it is IRS. All right, so I told him, let me read this letter, let me figure it out, and I'll get back to you tomorrow. So he left, I And I realized that is a letter IRS say to him that you filed your tax wrong, and you will get $680 some refund, and the refund check will arrive in 2 weeks time. And of course, it wasn't said so sweetly short. It was a huge letter and buried between the lines. So all he knew is the dollar and you filed your tax wrong. Okay. So with that, I saw him next day. I said, hey, you know, you will get $680 some back. He goes, oh, really? I'm not going to pay? I said, no, you're going to get the money back. And he didn't believe me. I said, maybe I calculated. So I said to him that tomorrow or the day after, come back to me after that. So the day after, he showed up with that check. And he's like, man, you are God's sand. How could you make, not only I don't pay and you even get money for me, okay? So this is the kind of starting point of me realizing how much need is there for our Asian community there that time in Des Moines. So I start working with him. Next thing I know 20, 30, 40 people coming, all the same problem, similar problem, harder problem. I fought for 4 years. And so I was doing that all for free at the time because I have my real job and I didn't really think that was a business. But my Asian clients said that, Ying, you have to charge us. And you charge us, and here is your office. Please come to Des Moines, and so we can have you be on our back and we can be strong. So that's how Community CPA is coming about. That's why it is not named under Ying or under anybody. It is the community effort, how the firm started. So we literally moved into an office space that client renovated and charging us no rent for the first year. And that's how we started. And from that time, with that, then I always say that we are not an ordinary firm because we really coming out of the gratefulness of the community. And we also come out of the huge need of our community. So without the community, without this firm. So that's one big point I say we are not ordinary. And by the way, Community CPA never bought anybody. We are organically grow. Do you know today how many clients we have? We have more than 9,000. Back then, my first year, I made $600 for the whole year because it was $50 a month and I charged 12 times. So that's 600. And now our sales, not to say to tell you that we're in the millions. And then we have more than 25 staff and we have more than 9,000 clients. And it's all grown by our words, our reputation, the trust from client. There's no advertising to buffalo who we are, and we are very real. We are just the person that started to realize the needs, then grow a bunch of folks who have the same belief and do hard work. So we are here today. We're special.
You know, I just really want to help our audience understand that at our firm, basically we do a lot more than you think of and you can expect, and we do it with so much less time for you to get involved so you can run your business. And actually we spoil our clients, and they don't even need to look at the letter. They take a picture and they send it to us via text or send it through file exchange. And so they can just go on their merry way and run their business. And in the back, we are taking care of any government letters or any kind of issues that they might be getting themselves into. And that's really our work and the way we do our work with our clients. So we want to help you understand today, at the end of the day, so you just know that we do a lot more with a lot less time for you to get involved so you can go on your merry way and do your business. And we just make you feel safe at the end of the day. You don't deal with IRS, you don't deal with auditors, and you just know that you're better protected with our firm. And some of the highlights that we want to just mention with our accomplishments is that Ying served on the Iowa Board of Accountancy. That's handpicked by the governor in the state of Iowa. That's back when Governor Terry Branstad was around, and he is now the ambassador to China. And he had Ying on that board for many years until Ying stepped down, and she took this position with the National Taxpayer Advocacy Panel. This just happened last year, and she has been serving on that board and represents the taxpayers' concerns and issues that people have. And so it's very normal for us these days to get letters, emails from our clients saying, I have issues with IRS with this, I have issues with IRS and that. And in the past, who would try to complain about IRS, right? We don't really try to raise that because we feel like it's worthless. Who's going to listen to us? But now we have this clear channel through Ying, and so she represents the taxpayers' concerns. So she addresses that. And our firm, you know, we have been featured by Accounting Today. Accounting Today, you've heard, it's one of the largest publications for accounting firms in the United States, and they featured a column on Community CPA one quarter. And Thomson Reuters, it's the largest accounting software, professional software. I mean, legal firms use it, hospitals use it, and they actually gave an award to Ying last year, and saying that, you know, she is the women-owned business accounting recipient of the year. And so she is just trailblazing the path for women-owned CPA firms. And we are so proud of her, and as she accomplished so many things. And, you know, she just wrote her first book, Appointment with Ying at 8 a.m. And I know many of you guys have already picked it up on Amazon, but feel free to click the link and take a look if you haven't done that already. So that's something about our firm. So, you know, as you get to know our firm, we want to help you understand all the different reasons why people look for our firm. Why do people come to look for our firm at the end of the day? So we're going to go through some series of examples to help answer some of the questions that we've answered in many, many years now. And so you can relate. And if you think of any questions along the way, feel free to drop it on our Q&A box, or you can email me at dan@communitycpa. So Ying, let's dive into these questions. Mom and Dad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Dan. Let's go for examples. Yeah.
Mom and Dad actually has a restaurant, Ying. And I want to give you this example because they want to retire, and they're looking to have their son basically replace them. They're tired. They've been doing this thing for a long time, but here's the issue. The son doesn't have a social. He doesn't have a social security number. Instead, he has an IT number. So what should be the proper way to hand over this business to the son so the son doesn't have any concerns?
Sure. So here we want to demonstrate to you that we are a lot more than the bean counter accountant or your little bookkeepers who does great job in adding things up and subtracting things off. So right here, this particular question is related to 3 different areas. Number 1, immigration. Number 2, tax structure. Number 3, it is an audit. Let me tell you why. Number 1, it related to immigration because can a ITIN holder be a business owner? And if that is the case, would they violating their ITIN holders' immigration status? And so we know how to dive into that to answer that question for you, because we do have immigration lawyers in our team that has been educating us for 15 past years. So we are not attorney, but we are very much trenched into understanding because we watch how that was done for the last 15 years. Then also tax structure. If you are an IT person, what kind of tax structure can you have? And that's a tax question, but it's not a bookkeeper question. There you go. So we answer that based on your situation. If you are ITIN holder and you are waiting for social security number, and we could tell you that you can do certain things. But if you are not waiting for social security number, you're just ITIN holder, you didn't even know when you're gonna become a social security number person, then we have another way to give you an answer. So that's where we juggle between immigration decision and the tax structure decision. Then the third one, and we're considering audit, because in everybody in business, we want to make sure you have the least possibility to be audited. And I'm not saying that we're doing wrong things, we're afraid of being audited, but if we are audited, we have to spend time, energy, and money to get it done. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to spend that time. So we consider your audit risk. So if mom and dad is closing and wanting the son to take over, I don't want the son to end up getting audited, then ruining their life, and maybe his wife even gonna divorce him. So we want to minimize the audit risk by giving you a structure that has the least chance to be audited. See how we will consider all three? So that is why we say we do a lot more.
You know, that helps answer the first two questions. And I want to also ask you, Ying, so for folks joining in, they understand if they're into real estate, how they're dealing with their property, or if they're even considering purchasing one, what their options look like. And as this person has a building and they're coming to us before they got to know us, and they are so upset because they have so little to deduct in their tax return. What are some ways that you can suggest to this person so that we can better serve their need?
Sure. See, we do a lot more again. Normally, if you go to a place, you bought a building, for example, you bought the building for $3,900. We make a silly example, okay? $3,900. And if you go to a regular tax place, people without a lot of knowledge, they will tell you that, oh, well, you can only deduct $100 because it's 39 years depreciation. So 3,900 worth of a building, you deduct $100. So there, you made $100 profit, and you made a $1 million profit. You have only $100 to deduct. Okay, we do more because we understand you don't want to just deduct $100. So what we would recommend you to do is, okay, you bought a building for $3,900. How much is the land worth? You say, 900 is the land, 3,000 is the building. Okay, we say, how is the building? Oh, that building has a window so old. That building has all the windows on all 4 walls. They're all too old. We need to gut it out, replace new ones tomorrow. Okay. Then we assign $1,000 worth on the window. And you said that you're going to replace next year. That means that $1,000 need to be deducted right away. So see, I right away deducting $1,000 and the other person was doing $100. And the technique I was using has a term to it. It's called cost segregation. If you are in real estate business, and you don't talk to someone who knows how to spell cost segregation, you are in the wrong place to do your taxes. This is where people talk about, oh, you know, I'm in the real estate business. I need to find a real estate tax person who knows real estate. There's no such a thing. And a good tax person, people like us at Community CPA, we were teaching everybody today to do that. If you're my client, you know cost segregation. Why do we want to make that so special? It's not special. Everybody needs to know that. Even if you're not in real estate, you are a restaurant owner, you bought a building, I would still do that for you. So there you go. We do a lot more.
You know, speaking of those advice, here I want to also point out and mention to our audience that at our firm, we dedicate October and November as the 2 months to work through your tax planning. So if the terminology tax planning is very foreign to you, don't know what that means, it means that you really have been overpaying your taxes. And a lot of people don't want to admit that they are just throwing money away. But unfortunately, when you're not doing tax planning properly, that's what you're doing. I know in our way of doing things at our firm, we dedicate those 2 months to really dive deep into your personal changes, look into your business changes. And so we do a projection through the end of the year and to make a proper planning for the future. So you don't really need to wait until the next year, March or April, to do your taxes to find out you need to pay so much. Our clients already know before the new year starts how much they need to know and how much they need to pay, I mean. And so it is a very different way of doing things at our firm. And so I just wanted to highlight that, Ying, before we move on to the next question. Mm-hmm. This guy, he lost so much money on the stock market. You know, it's a really bad time. And a lot of people are really depressed about this. Is there something that we can share with our audience for those who are maybe in the same boat?
Sure. So let's say if you had loss on the stock market and you go to the tax preparer to do your taxes for next year. Do you know how much you can deduct out of the losses? And you may be losing for $3 million, but you are only allowed to deduct $3,000 a year. That's capital loss, has a $3,000 cap on it. And we think a lot more for you. So if you come to me with that much loss and you're paying taxes on your tax return, my question to you is, how much are you trading on the stock market? You tell me that, oh, Ying, you know, I don't used to trade a lot, but 2020, I got laid off. And as soon as COVID-19 started, so I have not really found any job. I've been trading every day, all the time, because, you know, I was trying to get it back. If you talk to me like that, I will immediately think of a way for you to be qualified as a day trader. To qualify as a day trader, you can do an election. We call them mark-to-market election. And when I do that election for you, do you know all your losses can be deducted in one shot? You lose $3 million, then you made $300,000 income in 2020. $3 million will offset your $300,000. And the next year you make another $300,000. That $3 million continue to offset until you use it up. Okay, 20 years. This is where, you know, if you remember those election time when Trump was having this much loss and he doesn't need to pay taxes for the rest of his life, and you really think that he's so broke and he has no money to pay taxes, or he's so smart, he had a way to not to pay taxes. And this is where we come in and we do more for you. And we think for you. And we are frugal. We're just like you. Okay, when I was young, and I have those days I don't have 25 cents in my pocket. So I couldn't make a call to whoever need to pick me up. So I walk on the highway for 2.5 hours to get to a place which I'm supposed to call for a minute to say I'm late so I can hop on the bus or whatever, figure it out. So we had those experiences. How could we not? Frugal. We just built that way. We have that DNA. Okay, so I'm that way, and I'm not gonna kidding you. If talking about being frugal and cheap, I'm number one. But I know to apply that for you because I have that understanding. So I really care for you, and I don't want you to spend a penny more if you work with our firm. So this is where I say again, we do a lot more for you.
We're gonna go into a few more questions here, and this person actually has a retail store, and he has a hard time trusting people, customers, employees, you name it, because things are missing and he doesn't have the right things in place. So what are some of your suggestions looking at some of these questions he has?
So you can tell that our client don't limit their scope of the question to us. They treat us like one-stop shop for all their needs. So this store owner had issues with safeguarding inventory. And then at our firm, and we have experience what to do because we have seen too many. And we also have IT team in our firm that can really understand how to implement the cheapest application for you so you can get to where you want to be. In this case, actually, we sent the client to Derek, and Derek came up with security mapping for the store. So they installed cameras on the places where the whole store can be in the view, but not just the camera. And the camera also got in Wi-Fi linked to the iPhone of the business owner. So while he's in Hawaii, well, he cannot go there anymore. He has to cancel his trip. But let's say he went, then he can actually see the store in real time on his phone. And when he go home, he actually have a flat screen at home, displays the store picture all day long. So whenever he get up, he walk to the family room, he already see it. So that's how monitoring comes as part of life. You don't have to go, oh, let's sit down here, start monitoring. No, monitoring, the real sense of monitoring need to happen with your lifestyle. Like if you go vacation, it need to happen with your vacation. When you stay at home, it need to happen with you at home. So we understand that. We are real business people, just like you. There are CPAs have never ever done business themselves at all. They don't have business sense to advise you, but we do. So for that way, I also say that not only we have people, we have experience, we have our DNA, we are there just to do a little bit more for you than other CPA firms.
Yeah, IT is definitely a big part of our service, and remote technology, oh boy, really coming in handy for a lot of people at this time with COVID-19. You know, everybody in our firm, all 25 people, we are all working from home. So we are really able to help our clients 24/7. Sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it's a bad thing. But in our case, in the way we're helping our clients, it's always a good thing. So they know how to get a hold of us because we're always available. I'll touch more about that, about our portal and about our technology here in a little bit. Before we go on, Ying, this person also has just a general accounting and tax question. They have things on the shelf that are going bad. Like, what are their options?
Right. So, you know, actually this question is really a smart question from the business owner. But sometimes when we study people's financial statement, we also notice that their inventory just keep on growing and growing and growing. And we always ask client that question, do you ever get rid of your inventory? The client goes, oh, well, what do you mean? You mean, do I throw them away? Of course I do. Are you kidding me? Nobody buy it. I throw them away. Then my question to you is, have you ever reported that you throw away things? Well, I thought you know, but how could your accountant know? You throw away, you didn't sell, so it would not show in anywhere. So we actually educate our client that you need to count your inventory at the end of the year. And you don't have to count one item by one item, you count by shelf. So you have 6 shelves. Each shelf is estimated $5,000. Then you have your inventory already, right? So with that inventory, you can leave the rest of the value to be deducted. I want you to remember this question, if you handled it really well, and the more inventory you have, remember that, the more taxes you pay. Just remember that. More inventory you have, the more taxes you pay. Less inventory you have, less taxes you pay. So of course, you want to clean your inventory all the time. All right? So we explain that this way to our client. We don't talk like, well, inventory write-off, you have to go back chapter 5 and go read the regulation and see whether you qualify for that. I am just doing numbers for you and I can't make decision for you. I'm sorry. And this is what you get from other places. But we do not. We tell you that, okay, more inventory, more taxes, less inventory, less taxes. And is that simple? Very simple. So we do a lot more for you because we tell you the straightforward answers. We don't beat around the bushes, making you guess which answer is good for you.
That's true.
Isn't that true? We just lay it out. We don't make people guess.
It's very true. I mean, it's just the way we handle things with our client. We really do come in as a partner of the business that you're handling, and if it's important to you, it's important to us, and we know that if you're successful, we're successful, and that's the motivation we have in making sure that we're always available for our clients. And this guy, he has a small business, Ying, and he's never at home, or he's never at his office. He's always running around. And so he has this issue, I guess, with his accountant. And I remember him saying that he's getting mails from this person, paper mails. And so he doesn't have time to look at them. Sometimes he just feels that they don't care about him because they're just sending him stuff and don't even ask questions, and he just goes around, feels like things are getting done, but he doesn't really know how things are being handled. So at our firm, what are some things that we do to help with this type of situation?
This is a typical issue where the business owner is too busy. And we have clients who come in and I ask, how's your sale went last year? Oh, I don't know, but in that envelope, let me bring that to you. So he bought me 12 envelopes with financial statement every month in there, and some of the months was never opened. So what's the point, right? And you need your time to open envelope, read every print, and some of the pages are garbages. You don't even want to read them. And when you get to the number you wanted, it's already 5 minutes past. And then phone call come and you don't have time. So this is where we say that in our firm, we actually recognize that. We don't want you to spend that much time. We want you to get to the point right away. So I asked Dan to show you and how to save your time with us, because that's our goal. We have private portal for you. And why are you reading papers? Don't you spend time flipping the pages? Maybe you say that, well, Ying, you got it cheap because you don't even want to give me papers. You just want electronic. I'm not so good with electronic, so I can end up with no paper, no electronic. I'll be even in more darkness than ever. And don't feel that way. Our portal is so easy. Our portal is so easy. I'll tell you a story. I have a very large client, and the business owner of that business only had a 5th grade education in Laos, not even here, and broken English and a very, very rusty communication skills. And he uses all of our softwares. He prints his check, he does his portal checking, and he issues his payroll check. He look at his people who gets paid what is all on the phone. And if my excellent client can do that with 5th grade education, you can't tell me you cannot handle my portal. I don't buy that. I think it's you needing to know that the portal, hey, stuff on your phone, that's gonna save you so much time. You don't understand how much time I saved by just doing my phone and reading. Sometimes when you call me, you go, well, you know, I forgot my company is a C Corp or S Corp. And you know, can you tell me? And you think I was in the office at that time? No, I was actually at home and halfway cooking dinner, and you want me to check your status of your company. You know what I do? I go to my phone. I log into the portal, and which recognize my face, and I type into your company name, and it brought up your company. I look at your tax return. I know exactly what structure you have. Then I call you back, or I can just answer for you. And what do you think about me? You think I have such a great memory. Yeah, I should not tell you guys this at all, but okay. So this is what my point is. Come on, use technology. Dan, go ahead, demonstrate what we can do for our clients.
So folks, you're going to be seeing my phone now. This is my phone. And what our clients do, what you could do, is to just simply turn on this application called NetClient CS. Do you see that one in the middle there with the two arrows going across each other? And it says NetClient CS. This is the application you're going to need to download. All of our clients with our portal has this. You just click it. Then you're going to go ahead and sign in. And you're going to have access just like this. This is our app. And there are some features here that you're going to want to utilize all the time, like file exchange. This file exchange is the most secure way to send information to us. Email is not good, right? If it's sensitive information, we don't want you to email it. It could be hacked. It could be corrupted. It could be transmitted incorrectly. And so use this application, use this file exchange, and our clients do it all the time. So what they do here is they go ahead and click this plus button, and then click this file button, and then they will capture an image if they took a picture of their receipt, and they will grab a file if they have a stored file like a PDF on their phone. And that's the way people send it. And as soon as they send it, we receive it. We receive it right away. And then we will send you an email confirmation saying, hey, so-and-so, we got your upload. Thank you so much for using our file exchange. So that's just like that. It's super easy. Now, let me go back. There's one more feature here that I want to show you. Okay, and it is this demo right here, Demo Co. You know, this is just a demo application I'm showing you. If this is your portal, it's going to show your name. If you have a business with us, it'll show your name. And then also it'll have another folder under it, and it'll have your business name. And then every time we send you information, this is where you'll go. It's called Document Presentation. This folder is where you receive things. Remember, file exchange is where you send us information, and document presentation is where we send you information, and then you can see everything here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and turn off my screen share now, because I want to show you this same thing on our computer, which is a bigger screen. I feel will be better for you to see. So let me go ahead and do that.
So, you know, while we're waiting for Dan to upload the computer, you see that we have everything on your phone. Of course, you will say that, what if I lose my phone? And you have the facial recognition features, and you can lock down your application so nobody can see it. And this is where you can find 5 minutes to study your financial statement. On the accounting folder, you're going to see financial statement. On tax folder, you're going to see taxes. If your banker wants your taxes, so easy. You highlight your tax return, right click, it goes. So it is really your place to study what your business is doing while you are, while you have just 3 minutes waiting for Panera bread to be cooked, waiting for, even in your bathroom, who knows? And you have 5 minutes. So that's when you will study. So it is really a place where we say, we take less of your time than anybody else if you work with Community CPA.
Now, this is our website, okay? And to access your portal through your computer, you can just come here, and there's a client login button right here, okay? And then you type in the username we give you and assign you, and the password. And so once you get in, then this is what you'll see. This is your portal. This is what it looks like at your desktop, at your laptop. Just need to have internet access. Then you can have all of these at your fingertips, okay? Now, earlier I showed you File Exchange and your document presentation. Remember these two. Now, if you want more access and you want to run payroll, you can do it here too, okay? You can enter time here, right? You're running around and you're taking a stop and you want to run payroll, you can do it here. You don't need to spend so much time on the phone trying to explain to your accountant how many hours for each of them. And you just need to come on here and then put everything in. Or yeah, sure, you can email us all your information. We can run it for you too. We can print you a check and mail it to you, or we can do direct deposit, or we can make sure to send you a PDF so you can print it yourself. However you want to, we have the access, okay? So you enter the time and then you click okay, and then it'll send to us right away. We'll process it and then we'll show you a report, okay? Then the report comes up like this right away. It tells you what your payroll looks like, okay? And how much taxes you'll need to pay and how much everything looks like at the total. If you have departments, we can break it down into departments, that sort of thing. Then you need to print your check. You come here, you can print your payroll checks right away, okay? Then if you have employees and you wanna change your employee status here, you can change it here too. You can go ahead and enter, you know, their address change, or if you have some payroll taxes, let's say they got a new birth and you want to change their deduction so they pay less tax or less withheld from their tax. And so we can go ahead and make all these changes here for you too, okay? Then this document presentation I was going to show you earlier, we actually, believe it or not, it's still tax season, okay? People have this extension from IRS and people think that we're also on vacation, but no, we're helping clients with their taxes right now. And we also do Zoom meetings just like this with our clients. And we basically go over their taxes on their portal, okay? And then they can go to their business folder, and then they can go to their demo tax return that we drafted for them. It looks just like this, okay? We push it out to them. They look at it line by line. They know what's going on, how much refund they're gonna get, and we explain it so they understand it, both federal and state. Now, accounting, they wanna know their financial statement. They wanna know their first quarter, okay? So they come here. They go to accounting statement. Then they go to March 2020. Then they click this statement and boom, they get a financial statement. We review it and we help explain it and help them understand what their month looked like in comparison to last year, okay? And so we always can customize the report the way you want to see it, okay? And it's at the end of the year and you're needing, you know, the 1099 and that information too. We have it, we push it to your accounting. And then at the year end, we have your 1099 seals here so you can print it, give it to your employees, or however you want to handle that. And if you just need a copy, you know, we always have this available for you. So this is like your personal file cabinet. It never expires. It's always there for you. So that is the portal. I wanted to just briefly help explain. And for some of you, you want to do your own accounting, okay? You have your own way and you just want to handle that yourself. And that's okay. And then we have a application here. This is called Accounting CS, okay? This is available to you. And if you pay a one-time license fee, then you have access to this. And it's very similar to QuickBooks. And the only difference is, did you know QuickBooks has an agreement with IRS, okay? And so IRS can request information from QuickBooks, and QuickBooks file, you know, you cannot it's not like a cookie cutter. You can just cut off January 2019 through December 2020, right? You have to give them all that one file. And what happens? Let's say you're getting audited, okay? There's not wood around me, so I can't knock on wood, but let's say you get audited. And if you get audited, do you want to give them more information than what they're asking? No, there's no reason to, right? So if they're asking for just 2 years, you want to give them just 2 years. But QuickBooks, you can't do that. You have to send them the file. So that is something that is a very much of an inconvenience for a lot of our businesses that are getting audited, and they don't even know it. And so Accounting CS is very different. You can customize it, you can crop it, you can just send them exactly what they need and help answer their question, and so that we can just move along with our daily business doings. So that's how Accounting CS is different from QuickBooks. And earlier, I mentioned to you about Thomson Reuters. It is the largest and most powerful software out there right now for a professional firm. And we actually were the early businesses to buy into their program. And so we have access to that, and we pay over 6 figures on just the licensing for you, so our clients can utilize this software and use it to run their business. And obviously we can obviously do your books for you, and we use the same software too. So is there anything you want to add, Ying?
Sure. I want to mention to folks that, you know, the one of the benefit for Accounting CS is being really flexible. So for example, you want to do everything yourself, so you can use Accounting CS to do it. But then one day your employee left, you lost your accountant. Then you call Community CPA, goes, can you just do the next few months for me? And I'm looking for my accountant to come in to work. We can literally just do that, because on Accounting CS, the file you work on is the same file we work on. So we can work on it together. But with QuickBooks, the file you work on may not be the file I work on, because it's called accountant version. And then when I work on it, you can't work on it, okay? So it's really, there's not a lot of freedom. QuickBooks is really a market for small businesses. And when we call small, we mean 1 or 2 employees and really small. But when the government talking about small, they mean $20 million sales. So don't get confused with the word of small. But as long as you feel you are a bigger business for your own term, and you should consider using professional software like Accounting CS instead of using a popular, regular QuickBooks, because QuickBooks is for people who are not accountant. Okay, and Accounting CS has many benefits, just like what Dan said. And the government don't have license for Accounting CS. If you get audited, you have Accounting CS, all you need to do is to print whatever you need to give to the government. But if you get audited, you have QuickBooks, you don't need to print. The IRS want your data. And when you give a data, like Dan said, it's not something you can give for 2 years, 1 year, just the period you are auditing. No way. That program cannot cut off the other years and time. So you will give them your motherhood of everything for the history of it. If there's more things wrong, great. You're going to have your audit expended from 1 year to 3 years, to go backwards 3 years, forward 3 years. Oh my goodness. It's not like I didn't see that before. Yeah.
So since we're talking about audit here, maybe you can help explain what are some of the audit that you've encountered over the years, so people know what kind of audit is out there.
Okay, so generally speaking, I don't know, let's just count. Number 1 is IRS audit. IRS does 3 different types of audit. Is they can do your capital gain, capital loss audit. They can do your income tax audit. They can do your payroll audit. okay? So now with a foreign account coming through, there is a treasury audit related to foreign account as well. So that's kind of IRS world. Then you have the Department of Labor world. They audit you for your 401k. They audit you for your fair wages and overtime compliance. So the restaurant gets a lot of those audit, right? And so they audit for everything related to labor. And the pension plan, 401k are a big deal. And then you also have state audit. The state government also audit you. They audit your capital gain, they audit your income, they audit your payroll. They can also audit your sales tax, property tax. So anything that the state government does, they can set up an audit for you, okay? But there is only two type of audit that you cannot bankrupt away and you cannot shake it, and it's gonna go with you to the end, okay? So those are called trust fund audit. One is sales tax. Sales tax is regarded as trust fund. If you owe sales tax to the government, forget it. You need to pay, because even if you don't pay, after you die, and the government will go for your estate. And of course, you can die with nothing. The government has to give up. But the point is that you don't have a way to get away from sales tax, because it is not your money. Is the government trust you to keep that money, and it's called trust fund. So you have to pay. The other trust fund is payroll money. You know how you are, if you're an employer, you hold income taxes from the employee's paycheck, you hold Social Security, Medicare, and you hold that to yourself, then you pay it quarterly to the government. What if you don't pay? And if you didn't pay that, you're in violation of trust fund again. That is not your money. So you will end up paying. So I always tell people that don't play with fire. Number one, sales. Number two, payroll. And if you're in payroll, got a professional to help you. Don't do it yourself, because those are the mistakes can put you in jail. Those are the mistakes can literally ruin your life and your children's life, as long as you have money. Okay, so kind of those audits we see the most.
Yeah, and folks, you know, we say this all the time. Knowledge is half the battle. Okay, if you know why people are auditing you, or what kind of audit is out there, what kind of compliance you need to follow, is just going to help you with your business and help you sleep better at night. Even if you get that letter, you don't care, because you already know you did everything right and you don't have anything to hide, right? At our firm, we really value compliance. We value everything to dealing with compliance, okay? And so we know how the government thinks. We know how you think. And so we are the ones to help you and help fight for you and voice your concern. And that's really the reason why Ying was appointed to be on this national taxpayer advocacy panel to advise IRS on what matters to businesses and what matters to taxpayers, okay? And so when we are dealing with your information, we put the most priority on it, and we have such a good way of handling that information. Like, look at this question that we're getting. This person is a client of ours, and before they became our client, they were so worried. You know, they have families all over near our main office in Des Moines, and you know, they know people, and then people know them. And so they're so concerned about their information being shared and talked about, and they don't want to be in that conversation. They just hate that. So we get it. We get that. And so what we can implement is we can implement our software so that it is not available to anybody else, okay? Not even among some of our staff, okay? That's the second part of this question, okay? They're worried about people in our team and they know somebody in our team. And how do you regulate that? We can't. We can simply do that. We can make sure they don't have access to that. We can make sure they don't see that. And so it's like you don't exist in our system, okay? But, you know, to that degree, we care about creating the safe environment for you to know that your business is not anybody else's business. We don't share that information with anybody, and we take care of it because we know that that is most important to you. And remember what I say, what is important to you is what is very important to us. And so we want to help you feel and know that we do whatever it takes to make sure that we protect you, okay, from anybody that you may be concerned about. I like to even share this example. We have a client, we've always dealt with him, and it's a gentleman, and he has been doing business with us for so long. We never really talked to the wife. The wife only came to sign the tax return once a year, okay? But out of the blue, this lady contacted us wanting all their record, all the husband's business record and all this information. So we were very shocked because she doesn't really get involved like that. And immediately we reached out to the husband. And so we said, hey, your wife is asking for this information. We didn't share anything with her because we don't normally deal with her. What do you want us to do? And he said, they're going through divorce right now. And so obviously she wanted all that information that has really nothing to do with her. And she's trying to use that to, you know, try to claim some of the business that he has ownership to. So, you know, to that degree, we know how your business is handled. We know who we deal with. No matter how big we get, no matter how small you feel, sometimes dealing with some other big tax firm maybe you dealt with in the past, we don't treat you that way. You are part of our family, and all of our clients who's been with us feel that way. Doesn't matter what time of the day they call us, we have answers for them. If you leave us a voicemail, we make sure to get back to you within 24 hours. And we do that during tax season. We do that any season. You don't even feel it, okay? So that is something that we make as a promise to our clients. And, you know, this COVID-19 time, it is a very depressing time sometimes because we don't see half the people we normally see. In our office, we see each other every day, and now, you know, we can only do that through a video conferencing, and we know how hard that is. And so we want to help lessen that stress on you during this time. If you have things that you've always had issues with the government, and you just been hiding it under your bed, and you didn't really want to answer that question or open that envelope from the IRS because you're so scared, you have us. You can contact us, and you can call us, you can email us. And let me show you our directory. Okay, this is open to our public right here. Okay, you see everybody at our firm. You notice that there's a phone number and there's also a cell phone number. We have office cell phone that we give to all of our staff because this is just the way Ying's always done business. We want to make sure that your need is answered right away, and during this COVID-19 time especially, so you don't feel that just because our office is close to the public right now and you don't have a way to get your questions answered. So Ying, do you have a few words you want to share
Sure.
with our
Can you show
audience?
people how to get to the directory page you were showing?
Yes. So if you go to our website, this is our website. And if you see this screen, you'll see click for directory, this right here. And if you click it, then you'll see this directory. You can also type communitycpa.com/directory and you'll come here.
All right. So I think we have brought to you a understanding. We do a lot more than what you expected, and we really do care about you to the level, and we care of you as you are the only client that we have. So hopefully we leave that for you to think. If you're our client, I'm so proud of you. I actually do have a client left a note here saying that Beat Around the Bushes is the firm where I came from. And I had to figure out how to save money on my own. And that is so, so true. And a lot of times, and our small business goes to this firm to get service, they literally won't tell you. They don't tell you that the more inventory you have, the more taxes you pay. And then they tell you something like, your inventory need to be checked. You have to know the real number and it will impact your cost of goods sold. And then you're sitting there and go, what does that mean? But you know what I mean when I tell you the higher inventory, the higher taxes, the lower inventory, the lower taxes. So that you know, and we knew you understand that. So there you go. And why are you waiting for? Come to work with Community CPA. We welcome new clients.
Well, thank you so much again, everybody, and stay safe and take care of your loved ones and enjoy this time at home and catch up on things that you were putting aside and try to make good use of this time with your families at home. And we'll see you guys here shortly. Take care.
Bye-bye.